Woo, good. Let's get that. I know exactly what I'm doing. I was surprised. It's very educational. But it's hard. Stick with it. It was in the same place. Now I went to school. I don't eat too much, but you do eat good. I feel like that. Nah, like it is. Hope they have different teachers. They got a different teacher.
I love your comment. I love the comment. Well, it could. That's what we need.
That's what I was looking at.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order March 18th, 2024. First, we have on the agenda is our welcome. I would like to welcome everybody to our meeting. As it has been stated before, if you're not on the agenda, please refrain from speaking out. At this time, let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to come together again to handle our city's business, Lord God. We ask that you touch each and every one in here, Lord God, and their mind says that, Lord, we will handle the city business, Lord God. And ask that, Lord, as they return back home, Lord, that they left their house. Their home was just like they did before they left. It's in your name, Jesus' name, we pray. Amen. Amen. Let's stand and do the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, we have on the agenda to approve the minutes for our council meeting March 4th, 2024, and our second session on March 4th, 2024. And we will do those. I make a motion that we approve the city
council meeting on March 4th, 2024.
I'll second.
All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
All not in favor by saying no. Then we have the executive session.
I make a motion to approve the minutes in reference to the executive session on March 14, 2024.
Stephanie.
A second.
All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
All not in favor by saying no.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to our old business is to discuss our financing for the wastewater treatment plant and lift station. To give you all an update on where we're at on that, I was fortunate to have a representative come from Senator Warnock's office this morning to actually go over some funding and some things that we may be available to apply for. We've already submitted the congressional funding application for through Middle Georgia Regional. So we're just praying that all is well and that will go as planned. Not only will they do Warnock's office, it'll go also through Senator Huff's office. And what I've given you all, I just gave you all a copy. Tim Ingram gave me the updated copy as to the rehabilitation costs, and with inflation, you see it has gone up. Nothing has basically changed as far as on the list, except for I have to ask them about the Beaulord lift station, and you all can kind of chime in on it. From my understanding, didn't we replace?
Yeah, we replaced the pump. It was like $50,000, and now they're saying that the pump we need. So,
because I see it's still on the list. But that was the only thing. Basically, nothing changed. It's just the inflation of the cost of everything went up. So
The back original quote was March 6, 2023,
mm-hmm.
and it was $5,200,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the current estimate is $5,889. In 1 year, we're talking like an increase of $600,000.
Yeah.
So that is why this is imperative.
Yes, it is.
That we come up with a plan. Now, I understand the Warnock is great that we met with him today, but we need to seriously contemplate a plan B. I don't know what timetable, if they've given you one at all. We definitely need to have a backup.
That we do have that. That's what I was saying. They have, they gave, not only did they give, about the congressional spending, they had a lot of other ones that were available.
Okay.
So I'm applying for everything. So some are matched. We will have the match, in which we are aware of that. The GFA, Attorney Green, the GFA, whichever way we go, we're still gonna have to apply for that GFA, right?
You could apply for it. I don't know which one. It depends on what program you're talking about.
The water waste, the rehabilitation. Yeah. So either way, we're gonna have to apply for that GFA. Because this is about $6 million.
Yeah.
6 million. It's going higher and higher.
Given the balance of the ARPA fund.
Yes, and $600.
Yeah.
$600.
Okay. Now, question. Can't we go ahead and apply for perhaps the ARPA fund again? Is that offered?
There's no more out there.
No more
It's
out
over.
Once they become available, and that was just something that, the ARPA fund is something that they helped, that was used, and it was great, to help, yeah. So as funding come available, we just, we just have to reach out and get it. And I think I've been pretty precise on when they come available. Middle Georgia Regional is probably tired of me because I'm really on them about any funding that they have available. We can utilize, please let
Yeah.
So
$600.
yeah.
That's never.
But this is the updated copy, and just wanted you all to read y'all. Anybody else?
Well, it seems like a lot, which it is a lot, but this happened from the currency of 20 to 30 years ago.
Oh yeah.
You know, this ain't just something
That
just happened. You know, it's just from the neglection of 20 to 30 years ago. So now we're just trying to get the horse back in front of the bucket.
Yeah. I talked with some counties, some cities similar to ours. And, that is a lot, same population. They're doing worse conditions.
Oh wow.
But they got it situated. And their bill is far more than ours would be. So, but like I said, in 1 year, $600,000. That's a lot for a smaller population. To keep incrementing like that, that's going to be excessive. It's going to get to a point where it's going to be even hard for us to sustain that.
Yeah. Because it's not that anything changed on the list that needs to be repaired. It's the cost.
Oh yeah,
The inflation is that's what
cost.
you know. That was the $600,000.
Yeah, I'm talking about a period of 1 year.
Yeah.
And so as time lingers,
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be incremental on top of the 5,800. I can't get myself to say that correctly. You know, so where are we now as it relates to time? Because
Well, actually, once you, from my understanding, the deadline it closes out Friday. So we should know something by midsummer.
probably,
By midsummer.
That's on the congressional.
Yeah.
but are you saying that? And I know it's nothing absolute. Are you feeling confident that you will be able to get some type of grant or assistance as it relates?
Yes, I am. I'm feeling very confident in it. I was confident in the last one that got passed, went up to Congress. So we're praying that doesn't happen.
Okay, and if it does, if it
If it does, we just have to keep working.
Come up with another plan.
Come up with another plan. If Plan B doesn't work.
I would encourage us
Mm-hmm.
to start working on Plan B and wait for Plan B to develop.
Yeah. I did some numbers myself. Like tax like $30. We got like 911 bills, and you tax that $30. That put it roughly at $1 million.
That'll sustain the monthly cost without any assistance.
You say in reference to
It would be like a $30 increase on water bill. And that's without any assistance.
And he used to go speak to
That's
him.
given the fact, I think Tawana said she was about roughly 930. So divide that up, and then you also need to do an estimate, see what the difference is in the water bill based on the old estimate, based on this estimate. That
Well,
would be the
actually,
cost of
it's
wages.
actually what that is called is an analysis, and we are doing an analysis. We have that. I'm actually waiting on Tim to get the information.
Mhm.
I've been telling him about it, but I contacted him today, and he assured me that he will have it to us by probably end of this week. So that's been in the work also.
But any assistance would definitely be greatly appreciated. You know, $600,000 increase based on what?
A year, not even a year. We're right at a year. Okay. Any more questions? Okay, next we have on the agenda.
With the street lift station, I didn't see it in there. Would that be because it's going to be filed on insurance?
I look at the old one. Let me see if that was it in the old one?
Yeah, you remember Mrs. Boyke said there was two parts to that. You could do just the wastewater treatment plant, or you could do another estimate with the wastewater treatment plant, including the lift stations. So I think this one's just wastewater
And-
treatment plant.
The only,
Yeah, the lift stations are on here too, various lift stations are. But I don't see the Smith Street, I just see the, and you see Smith Street? It's not on here.
There's a good chance, I checked today, and that is eligible under our insurance.
they did
Smith
find-
Street,
Okay.
it is in our plan, it's listed out
Good.
specifically, so
I
it's a
knew
good
there
chance
was-
we're gonna be able to file that.
I knew there was some question as to whether or not it was actually covered, so I was wondering how that played out.
It is, and it's specifically got the side of Smith Street pumping station.
Okay.
So
But you know what,
they were
Smith,
gonna be good.
but it was never in this list, I don't see it.
I think that's just a wastewater treatment
Wastewater,
plant.
yeah.
It
It
straight
has-
that out.
They had
Well,
some
it's
that
got
had
some
Lloyd.
lift stations on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shinholster Street lift station and Influent lift station. Those are the only three that were on here.
Yes, I think one of the lift stations at the treatment plant itself.
Yeah,
Nice
that's
one.
Influent.
So that's actually, that 5.8 million is not even considering another 100,000 that luckily
No.
insurance is gonna help us out there to
Yeah.
keep it from being 5.9 million.
Exactly.
So,
All right.
It's on the second page.
Smith Street,
At the
Is it on
bottom,
there?
at the bottom where you, that's what you requested for the one on the second page, that's at the bottom,
Oh,
the grant request.
it's gonna be this one, the one, the updated one that he gave.
Okay, so we're requesting $4.1 million from the,
No, it's gonna be 889, 857.
what's that right
Yeah, that's what we did before. That's the, that was the one for 2023. The one on top is the update.
there?
Look,
No, okay, all right.
that's the update.
Just why is that total at the bottom different? They're not including the contingency in that, they're just putting it on the overall total estimated cost of construction. Because you see that the Warnock proposal on the previous estimate last year was $4,160,000. I see that there's a difference in the estimate. Is there a certain percentage that they are looking to, that we are requesting?
There is a percentage, because I think it's like 10%. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's like 10%. At that point, that's why GFA is gonna have to come into play and help us, with that.
Okay. All right.
Because when we sent it before, the one for 2023, we had to file for the GFA loan also.
And you said that we should hear something, I know something about what was June, did you say?
He said mid-summer. Okay. Next, we have the insurance claim library clarity to clarify. Who had questions about that?
what was the insurance claim for the library? I know we originally had started a claim, but then the library, Georgia Library, I guess, got involved and paid for the repairs. So was the insurance claim for those repairs?
What insurance claim? This is like the ones that, the insurance claim is gonna be for one side of the library where the most damage was done. That's what Middle Georgia Regional, when we were going to go ahead and file a claim, but then they contacted me and told me they wanted to help us. And so at that time, I told Tawana just to stop that claim. And they took on what it was to fix that side of the library and all of the ducts and do all the painting and do all of the sheetrock. They did everything that was over there, painting the carpet. They took up all the carpet. Even on the outside of the building, it was raining out into the walls. They went out and and reconstructed that so the rain wouldn't go down into the walls. But the only thing they did, they stopped right there at that door and do the hallway and the other side of the building. That's our responsibility. So that's the insurance claim. That's why we were submitting the insurance claim to see if we can get funding to complete the other side of the building, because one is beautiful. That side is beautiful, and all of that, you know, and the rain damage the mold damage had gotten into that rug and all of that on the other side. So, and we thank them for doing whatever they did for us.
Right.
So that's why the insurance claim is.
So it was damage on the other side.
Yes, it is.
Okay, but they didn't fix it.
No, they didn't fix that.
Okay.
They didn't fix that.
That's what I was just wondering, because I know Middle Georgia Regional, you said it didn't cost us a dime, but then we reopened the claim, so I was just making sure on that one.
I wanted to make sure we are not filing on the insurance for something that the library system has fixed. But you're saying it's totally different.
Yeah, it's what we're filing on is the other side.
Okay.
They fixed the conference room side, but they didn't do the
So
other side.
have we had any kind of adjuster come in and say how much damage was done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We had that before we even started with the other, before we even started anything. We had Service Pro come out and Service Master. I think it's Service Master that came out.
Then it had to been one of our insurance adjusters.
Oh, no. Mm-mm. No.
I guess they come out after you file it.
Yeah, after you filed it, and they will come out because we never went through with the claim.
Okay.
So what was the estimate of the damage on that side that has not been addressed yet?
Okay, do you have a copy of it, Dawn?
I didn't bring that with me.
Okay. She has a copy of what they claim, what we were claiming and how much and everything, and all the pictures and all that stuff. So she had to send it to the insurance.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. I just want us to be real careful about these insurance claims we make, because I don't know how city insurance works, but I know with homeowners, you go to making too many claims, they drop you. So I'm not saying it doesn't need to be fixed, it doesn't need to be addressed and whatever, but if there's any way, since we're staring down a $5.8 million project, if that's something that we can wait a little while, if we have to table it or whatever to discuss it, I don't know that we should.
But that's totally different from the.
I don't know how our insurance. How's our insurance company viewing us with making claims like we have?
There's a copy on this second insurance claim where there's a lot of unanswered questions that everybody has a copy of. It's in their box. Y'all want to review it before going further?
I'm just trying to be very careful, because the last thing I want the city to be without is insurance, because we make one extra claim that ends up being on a library to get it covered, and then we have another lift station go down, and we need another $100,000, and now we can't file it on insurance because we don't have any. But we got a nice library down there.
I think this was in a $30,000 to $40,000 range for this new part, if I remember right. I don't remember the exact figure. There's several more questions before they'll even look at it. I'll send an adjuster down that somebody's got an answer. I don't know the answers to.
I just think it's something we probably need to find out from our insurance company. Where do we stand on claims?
And it noted, Grandma only owes the claim if there's an actual expenditure by the city. We haven't spent anything on it yet.
So we would have to fix it and they would reimburse us.
Well, they're asking for estimates and all that, so I don't know where they would take it from there.
Okay.
They need 2 extra detailed estimates for repairs from local general contractors in your area. There's several things they've listed they need before they can even go any further with it. So that's why I gave everybody a copy.
That's fine. What we can do is, figure out whatever they need. I'm pretty sure it can be answered. And I do apologize. I haven't even looked over that.
I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to cause a rift. I want to make sure we're covered. Like I said, I'd hate to file a claim on the library and then something happen within the city that's actually got to do with the functions or our citizens not having clean water. And,
I mean,
Ain't that's what we pay insurance for? I mean,
yes,
I
sir.
mean, you know the same thing that
Yes, sir,
I
you
pay
do.
insurance for 40 years and never make a claim. Look at the money I put in it. I
Absolutely.
ain't worried about whether they go up or cancel.
Well,
I just want my fix.
well, if
And I don't
they
think
cancel
they
you,
will.
if
But
they
we're not
cancel
going
you,
to consider that government insurance, so
no.
it's all those state.
But if they cancel you, you will be worried then.
Well, we just, somebody else out there got insurance.
We like to never got an insurance back when it got canceled last time. They don't want to cover the elected officials. You lose your liability insurance on the elected officials.
And you do find somebody else, and what you find out is they're twice as high as the ones you had.
I don't believe my life worried about what else.
okay, now moving ahead, as far as the insurance claim for the library, what do y'all want to do?
I'm sorry, what you said?
I said moving ahead, as far as the insurance claim for the library, what do y'all want to do? Do y'all want these questions answered so we can move forward, or what do you all want to do?
Besides me, you answer those questions through the once you make the claim, and they'll come out the adjuster. I'm quite sure they can answer.
But before we can move forward, we have some questions that we need to even send in to them,
To the adjuster.
to the adjuster, or to Irma.
Okay.
So that, I have all of that. Okay. I've already sent that.
And if we send what they asked for, then
Yeah,
tell us
we can
from
move
there
forward.
what they can do.
I've already sent all that she's given me, and this
Okay,
is what
yeah.
they want in addition.
Okay. So what we'll do is just look over whatever is need to be sent additional, and do you all want to move forward, or do you all want to do what the offer suggested? What do you all want to do?
I make a motion that we.
Send in what they asked for and just go from there. I don't know till you send it in.
Need a motion.
Yes.
I make a motion that we proceed with the insurance claim with the library.
I second it.
Any discussion? All in favor by saying aye? All in favor, not in favor by saying no?
No.
Okay, 2 no's and the rest were yeas.
Mm-hmm. Next we have the credit card issue. And we basically discussed everything Wednesday in reference to the credit card issues. You all were given in your boxes the very next day the information that I had of all the receipts and all of the pictures and everything. So you all have any questions?
I've spoken with the VA Barksdale. He informed me of the reason we haven't received anything final is due to the fact that the GBI investigator over the case has been out of work for some time with his mother. She has had organ transplant surgery, so he's been out for a while. He went on to state when the investigator returns to work that Mr. Barksdale and the investigator wanted to sit with counsel and discuss their findings. So, until we hear from them, I'll make a motion to table this until we hear from them.
But I would like to say, Attorney Green, did you say that, you know, we had to decide on a yay or no before they give you the report of this?
So you don't have to do anything, but you can. So these are two separate. There's a criminal side and a civil side.
Okay.
The civil side deals with how the city is going to deal with their finances and what they perceive to be legitimate expenditures. If you deem none of them to be legitimate, you can vote not to pay anything. If you deem them all to be legitimate, you can vote to cover the whole thing. If there are certain ones you think are not legitimate, you can exclude those. But what I hear the council member saying is that he wants to wait until there is a determination from the criminal side before we move forward with the civil side, because they may be in conflict. The criminal side may say, we don't feel that certain charges were legitimate, or we feel like none of it was legitimate. I don't know how much they're going to get into the charges themselves, because I do feel like that would be a civil matter that would be for this council to determine. I don't think the GBI or the state is going to get involved in the city's finances and say that this was an appropriate expenditure or not. I think there's no question that Christmas items to some extent were budgeted. There's no question that there are donations were received for Christmas items. However, the money provided by the budget and the donations was not enough to cover all of the Christmas expenditures, which means we went, in essence, over budget. If all of the charges were deemed by this council to be appropriate, then we went over budget, and we would need to amend the budget accordingly to pay those charges. If they're not appropriate charges, then this council can choose which ones they want to pay or not, or like the council member said, you can wait and table it until you hear from the district attorney and GBI investigation. However, that does just push off the interest and charges and any other fees and fees that we've already incurred. They're just going to continue going up. And I don't know, again, what that's going to do to our credit system.
So what was
That's
the
incorrect.
purpose of having the workshop? You know, that was just a waste of time, because we're right back where we started from. We can't move forward, can't do anything, because we got the same issue that we had 15 months ago, and don't look like it's going to go away. So, you know, you can't move going forward until you get some of this stuff taken care of, you know.
Answer.
Attorney Green, isn't it your job to represent council?
What do you mean?
In terms of talking with DAs and things of that nature? I mean,
yes, but the council is a body that's elected by the citizens, and they are certainly enabled to discuss city business and authorize agents of the city to act on the city's behalf. So long as they're authorized to do so. So there's nothing improper for anybody going and talk to them. I mean, certainly I've had discussions with the GBI and the district attorney's office, but essentially this is news to me as far as why I've been told that we would be getting. Last I heard from the DA's office, we would need to talk directly to Barksdale, and he was waiting on the GBI. The last I talked with the GBI agent was that he would inform us when a decision had been made that it has not been closed out. That was the last I heard from him. I hadn't heard anything further. But yes, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but this council is a body that's able to investigate matters and able to, look in. Of course, any citizen is really, I mean, that's the whole idea of open, transparent government, is any citizen is allowed to look into what their government's doing and ask questions. So, but there's certainly nothing improper with one of the council members. Now, as to advising the city legally as to what to do, that's my purview, and my advice is that you can certainly do what the council member is asking, and you can table it because if you feel like you need that information or are hesitant for that purpose, or you can move forward if you feel like you want to appropriate the funds for these expenditures. And that's this council. The budget fiscal responsibility belongs with this council. So, whether these expenditures themselves are proper is, I believe, always going to be a question for this council. Now, how it came about, or how they were charged, what they were charged on, or the financial accounts and those type of things, that stuff gets into a matter that we're not crossing into. And I don't think by making a decision of what items we would pay would interfere with that. I mean, that would be something that certainly is not affected or touched by which expenditures you deem appropriate. In fact, I would assume that the district attorney's office and the GBI would be glad to have any information as far as what the council chose were appropriate expenditures.
But it's, I know, through this whole, ordeal, we have 3 new council has come on since this happened. And not but one has come to me to see what has gone on, just being transition, just being transparent as to what happened and what took place. Because if you had come to me, you would have had all of this in hand before the workshop. But nobody never took the time to come to me and ask, Mayor, what's this and what's been going on and what happened. But it's so, why does I think being transparent and you really giving your honest opinion, and you're coming in blindfolded, you don't know what's going on. My first thing is, let me see what's going on this side, and let me see what's going on that side, so I can make a true and honest decision. So I just feel nobody's never came to ask me about anything. So that's why you got this information last Wednesday of all of the transaction and all of the receipts and all of the pictures that I had. You didn't know anything about it because you never came to ask me.
Okay, we did spend some considerable time in the workshop addressing this issue last time. And my understanding that all the charges had gone over, you had receipts to cover the charges, is that correct?
Yes.
And now, if I'm hearing this correctly, there was originally $2,000 budgeted for the Christmas expenditures. All right, and there were some donations.
$2,500.
$2,500. So that leaves the total cost of Christmas expenditures, I'm assuming, $4,500.
Correct.
And what would the total amount actually spent on the Christmas items?
It was little. You said 6,000?
6.
No, it was like 11,000 something.
Oh no, not on Christmas.
On Christmas?
No, I'm talking about
The card,
just Christmas.
the card itself was about 6,300, I believe, 6,500, somewhere in that neighborhood. But the other expenditures, such as hanging lights and taking them down and other things that were charged, were already billed out and paid out of the $2,000 and $2,500. So when there was enough money to pay,
Which that $2,500 was stated when the people said the checks had donations on there. And it's in you have pictures of the check. Some of the checks that had donations. Go ahead.
so the companies and other entities responsible for putting up the Christmas lights, putting them on the poles, things like that, not purchases from a credit card, had billed the city, and from the funds available, the clerk had already paid out close to, I think, over $75. It was close to $4,500 already. Then the credit card was received, I think, somewhere in January or February. At that time, we realized, okay, there's an additional $6,500 worth of expenditures for Christmas that we were not aware of, and now we have no budget for it because the other 45 is already gone. So that's where we're at.
So all of that, how much was for the Christmas? It was 6,000, right?
Well,
How much that had been used on the card?
on the card, it was about 6,500, and there was about 1,000 of that, which was GMA and other things. So it was about 5,500 that was Christmas expenses. But
So in reality, it only went over about 1,500, about 1,000 or what have you.
If these other 4,500 with the putting up lights and stuff hadn't been done, I mean, I think if you look at it as what you believed you had in your budget to spend,
Matched
you
exactly.
spend everything on the card, then you went over a little bit. But the problem being that these other expenditures for putting up the lights and those type of things weren't calculated into that total, and so they had to come from somewhere. And they got hit. They got invoiced first, so they got paid first before the clerk knew about the expenditures on the credit card. So the credit card became a real issue when there was no money left to pay those expenditures. Although, I mean, I hear what you're saying. The 2,500 really becomes an issue because it was donated money, and so then there is some intent on behalf of the people who donated. Did they intend to have the lights put on the Christmas poles for that money, or did they intend for it to go to your activities that you're charging?
I know y'all saying $11,000 in the car. How can that be sold when you have a $10,000 credit?
It's only $7,900. $7,009.67 on the card.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I
what's
got it
saying
right
is
here.
$11,000 on the car.
That was including the other Christmas expenses that were paid on general fund budget and
So
donated.
So it's not $11,000 on the car.
And,
So it's $7,000 on the card, and the rest of it come out of general.
General fund and donated. You gotta remember too, people
I'm saying,
say they're gonna make
I'm just saying it's
donations.
two different entities.
Yeah, and
That's all I'm saying.
all the donations didn't come in, is what I was trying to say. But
Okay.
before you spend, you need to make sure all your donated money is in your hand first, and all the donations did not come in.
Yeah, but the
So
thing I'm trying to
that
say,
affected it too.
but the thing I'm trying to say is it's two different entities. One donation, the urgent credit card, and then all on the credit card. That's all I'm trying to clarify.
And some was paid out of donation, some out of general fund, and some was put on.
So the card will never $11,000.
No, it's $7,009.
So if we table this, we don't have to worry about the accumulation of interest because it's already been turned over to collections. Once it's turned over to collections, collections agency allows them to set a dollar amount and it does not accumulate interest. So if we're tabling it, it ain't costing us any more money to wait until we get all the information we're waiting on.
It may not cost us anything, but it sure costs a bad state of door in the collection.
Well, that's true. That's true. But we done wrote it 15 months, and until we get all our questions answered,
I look at it different. I make a motion because, you've been dealing with it for 15 months. And the question is, what has it cost the city in interest or in late fees? And there again, if she missed the mark by a couple of dollars, even $1,000, so to say, I don't know if that's true. The total accumulated interest as it relates to this is probably pretty much in line with that, if not exceeded that. Council has the ability to make adjustments or amendments whatsoever to go ahead and resolve certain other issues, especially things of emergency. I know this doesn't fit the bill. As a matter of fact, that you can make adjustments to in fact rectify the situation. There again, we can put this behind us and let the GBI continue with their investigation. And then if there's any criminal suit that comes out of this, because we don't know when that will be, then let them handle that. Let them handle that accordingly. That's the way I would look at it. Because if we can address this and move this what I call a hindrance out the way so we can proceed with city council business. This has provided negative media attention for a couple of dollars. And so that's just the way I would address it. That's where I am with the situation. I would be even on the verge that we vote for it today or we let it go. There's no need of us keep bringing this up, kicking the can down the road. That's just my opinion.
Attorney Green, can Councilman Evans vote on this?
It should hear two different questions. I mean,
Well, I've got a copy of the minutes where you state that
he should recuse
he
himself.
recused himself in the minutes. So he's already taken himself out of the vote by his own accord. But you even affirmed it by saying he is not eligible to vote.
Why he's not eligible to vote? Now, I don't know. I'm just attorney. Why isn't he eligible to vote for that card on the expenditure side? Because that's the expenditure side. You just said it was civil and a criminal side.
The card that was issued, unfortunately, got issued in the name of the city and his name personally. And so it would be a vote to pay a credit card bill that is in, to some extent, his name. And whether it's his bill personally or whether it's the city's bill, is part of the criminal matter. But the problem being, it is in his name, and he would be voting to pay a bill that's in his name. And so he can't do that. And the only thing I would say that, if there's any question as to that, would be the prior course of dealings with this whole, discussion with the bank and this third party and everything else. And that would be the strong desire from the very beginning on behalf of the city that that we put a hold on it and stop any charges and cancel these cards and cancel these accounts. And it was told repeatedly that we are not authorized to do that because it is a card belonging to the council member. And also, there's been some suggestion, I don't know, I think we talked about it in the workshop, but there's been some suggestion that it couldn't be canceled. And this is, I don't know, this is, I guess she said potentially from the workshop the other day, but there's been some suggestion that Evans at some point has said that he couldn't cancel the card or something because it was affecting his own personal credit. So that's the problem, is you don't want to be involved in something where you've got some personal benefit or interest in. I think there's too great of a question that he does because his name is on this card. So he's asking, well, the city would be, essentially it came before the council as a request for reimbursement to begin with. And to some extent, it's a request for reimbursement on his card with certainly a name that has his name, a card that has his name. So he's got an interest in getting this bill paid.
So this card is tied to Councilman Evans.
That is my understanding. Now, like I said,
I thought it had the city's EIN number.
I don't know. That's never been confirmed to me. I assume it probably is correct. If it is, I don't know how they got it. That's been a question at the workshop. But as you brought up, that never should have happened if it did. But the second point being, what's no question is, one, his name's on the card. And two, we were told, the city was told that we could not interfere with it because it's his account. There's a third party processor, it is his account. It's kind of, I think they look at it as though, like if I was to set up my business card, well, my personal credit's attached to my business. I can't get a loan or business credit or anything on business credit without being attached to my personal account, my personal Social Security, so that I'm the guarantor of those funds, not just my business. That's from people setting up business shell accounts for businesses and then just letting them bankrupt and stuff and not having any personal guarantee behind them. And so they stop that by tying people's personal credit to these business accounts and cards. Well, In my understanding, that is where we're at with this car. It's in the name of the city of Florida, but it's his car.
Well, if it's in my car, a quick question. If it's my car, how can the city about GBI on my personal car?
Well, my report stated that it is either your card, it's a city card, or it's, something other than that.
During the investigation,
But I think if it's your card, then yeah, no, they can't. I mean, it's, if it's your card, it's not criminal.
So I think through all investigation with my attorneys and GBI, we did rectify that the car did belong to the city.
So
and it had my name on it because I was authorized user on that account.
Which means you're an involved party.
Well, if it's your card, then it's not a problem, but it's your expense, and we would be asking the city to reimburse your expenses. If it's not your card, then we're right back, in this catch-22. I don't know any other way to slice it, but I think that he can vote. I think if he does, it's going to be a problem because everybody's going to object that he had a personal interest in this, and to the extent that he does, and it's his card, and it comes out that it's his card, then anything we do as far as voting today and going forward could be a misappropriation if the vote's carried with his vote. I mean, if you got 5-1, you're probably okay if you voted. But if it's 4-2, and the carry, the 4 which is required to vote is Councilmember Evans' vote, you certainly could have a real problem moving forward with this appropriation of funds. The council has to have a lawful and valid vote to pay these expenditures. So at some point, 4 people who are qualified to vote need to vote it up or down one or the other.
Could it be a possibility that we could get the Attorney General involved in this so that, for one, it don't cost us anything, and being a state appointed position, I mean, whatever rule they give us would be the rule we have to go with. Would that not be correct, Attorney Green?
I don't know that they would do that. I think you probably have, a different process. I think, locally would be the first thing to do. I think the first thing you'd have to do is the citizens who have the argument or the claim here or the standing before the court would petition Superior Court. Superior Court will make a ruling on that, and then after that, that decision could be appealed. But at some point, you would get a decision either from Superior Court that wasn't appealed or from the appellate courts that would give you a case law as far as, what you could do here and whose money it is, whose part it is, and whose responsibility it is. But that's if you're gridlocked and can't vote on it. If you, like I said, if you got 4 people really, absent Councilmember Evans, say, let's pay it off. Let's beat this up, has been suggested, then that's a lawful vote. Those expenditures are appropriate and money in the budget accordingly. If you don't have that, then that motion is going to fail. And we'll be caught in this loop until such time as somebody makes a decision that can be voted on up or down, or there is some type of court proceeding, either criminal or civil, that places the burden on somebody to pay it. And it doesn't have to be Councilmember Evans. I mean, it could happen that way, but certainly the criminal courts could go and say, this is his burden, and do it for restitution or something. Or I can potentially see a lawsuit coming, and I think it's on its way on the visa or whoever. Maybe it's a collection now, and it's been long before somebody's demanded this money, and then they're suing for that money. And when I say fees and stuff, I'm not talking about interest. I'm talking about court costs, filing fees, everything else, which is far more significant than interest rates. That if you're in collections, you got to start working something out, and you're going to go that direction. Well, we don't have the ability to work anything out if we can't appropriate the funds. I can't make a deal, like I said in the council workshop. I can't even offer to negotiate something to pay a lesser amount unless we've got the funds to, I'm sitting, I can't offer a nickel that hasn't been properly authorized, so until we can cross that bridge, we're gonna, like I said, we're probably facing court battle one way or the other. Which is, I mean, you know, I think that's why, you know, lawyers have a house, but, when it hits the fan, I just have to say that it's been brought to the council several times. The previous council, but anyway, yes, before this new council took over, the prior council did approve the funds. When I say approved, they allocated the funds in the budget to pay for this. If this council, they didn't make a decision and tie this council's hand, but they essentially gave this council the money to do it if they chose they wanted.
Okay, so it's there. It has been budgeted for that expense. And if this go ahead and being satisfied, then that doesn't mean that the criminal aspect of it has ceased. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So the criminal aspect of it would serve the purpose of holding Councilman Evans or whomever mayor accountable for those expenses.
That's absolutely. In fact, if the GBI's ruling was that it was fraudulent and you know none of it was proper, then certainly the government could seek restitution in the criminal matter. You could say, you know, if it was improper and ask them to give restitution.
Right. And so by doing so, we've moved this matter out of council's hand, out of council position. Then it becomes a matter of the GBI agents and the courts.
That's correct. You've taken care of the financing issue of what expenditures are appropriate, if any. Like I said, that's really where we're at. That's where we're always going to be. That decision's got to be made at some point with this council.
Yes.
Which of these expenditures, if any, are appropriate, or are they all appropriate, or which ones, if not, are not appropriate? But that question's got to be answered. And then if you say these are appropriate Christmas expenditures, we'll pay them then. If you say none of them were approved and we're not amending the budget accordingly, then we move forward on that, and that's what we have to do.
Well, maybe that's where we need to get and see if the decision of the council, you all have the list.
That's what I'm saying.
So what wasn't you have the receipts, you have everything, so you all have looked at it. So what wasn't appropriate? What do you all? What's your take on it?
After the investigation, like I said, and talking to the attorney, then I am eligible to vote on this matter, and I will vote on this matter.
So what in here that you all feel wasn't appropriate?
I did have some questions on it because I studied it over the weekend, but I did not go by the house before I came here, came straight from work, so I don't have the paperwork with me. But I did have some additional questions.
Okay.
May I, any other council person, do y'all have any take on it and say? I mean, I'll explain my position on it. And, there again, you know, I don't know. I'm not talking to any council. I'm not actually involved. My position is to cease the city from incurring any other expenses. And given the fact that this has already been set aside in the budget, you see. So, to me, addressing this issue here, council can move this one out off the table. See, it's been open. It's been going on now 15 months or so. We're saying wait a little longer. I don't know if anybody have a specific dollar amount as far as the issues that has been incurred up to this point. And I think it's just it reflects the city in a more positive light to take care of the city's debt in terms of Christmas expenditures. Now, those are the Christmas charges, I believe, on that card. I looked them over. I didn't see anything that was fraudulent. Even if I'm missing it, I'm pretty sure the GBI got a much closer eye on it than I can ever have. So with that fact, given that fact, that's why I'm on the side of taking care of the credit card issue, and then the GBI and the courts handle the issue. Whether it's
Dawn has said she had some questions. Does anybody else have any?
I don't know. I didn't find anything. I didn't say anything. That's not appropriate.
Well, if we can't approve this, then I think, also we need to let it go because it's really stopping progress. And if they wanted to let it go into collections and charge the city more money that we don't have, then let it go.
And counsel, Attorney Green said there may be more repercussions coming from it.
Yes, that's what's going to happen.
So you put the city in a position where it's going to only potentially cost more money?
Yes, that's what's going to
Just like
happen.
playing Russian roulette, given the fact that this has already been budgeted. This matter could be resolved as it relates to city council. And if anything that was done fraudulent or criminal, that can be I understand that correct.
That's correct. I mean, the only issue I would say moving forward is if the city is trying to limit its exposure and liability, then I understand what Councilmember Evans is saying, and I understand he's got some independent legal opinion, and he's got the right to do what he's going to do. But I also have the duty to render my legal opinion about it, and I do believe if that's the way it goes, and there's a vote, and it's 4-2, I'm not saying it would be, but if it carries due to his vote, I do believe we're going to get sued. I believe the citizens will sue the city.
You believe what now?
The citizens will bring a lawsuit against the city. I believe they will have standing at that point to challenge his vote, and I'm confident they will.
You know, given the fact, even if I'm still on the point. I'm still on the side. Whether Evans can vote or not, you either address it or you let it go. That's where I am. You know, but it's going to be on record that the expenditures as it relates to the Christmas expenses were in fact balanced. First, we need to understand that. Now, it bodes other questions. You know, how light expenditures are actually coming out of the Christmas budget. When that could have been something that could have been handled. That's a city function. It's like when the electricity go out, you're going to charge an individual to reconnect. So that's a city function. If a city is serious enough about taking care of the citizens, light expenditures and things like that, it should be something set aside systematically, rather than coming out of a depleted budget. If you hang lights out of a budget like that, that's all you can do is hang a light. You can't do anything else. And so this makes no sense to me. You know, and I understand where it is, even given the fact that, like I said, that was still something that needs to be addressed with council in the foreseeable future. What are you going to do in terms of Christmas parades? Are you going to do some adjustments or line items added to the budget to accommodate such a thing? So in essence, where you stand, you can't have a Christmas parade or anything like that. You can't even decorate for Christmas because there's not a proper line item in the city budget to do so.
No. Attorney Green.
No, sir.
Attorney Green.
Excuse me, can you please be excused, sir? Thank you.
Yes. In the if there was a potential lawsuit against the city board, is it against the city of Gordon, or could it be individualized as each member of the council?
No, I mean,
Okay.
because it would be an improper, the lawsuit, I'm pretty sure would be brought that the council as a body misappropriated funds because they didn't carry the valid number of votes. Now, like I said, if it's, if there's 6 people that vote, then the question whether his vote carried or not doesn't really matter, because you would have had the votes either way.
Right.
It's if it carries because of 4 votes and he's won. But yeah, the lawsuit would be the citizens saying, hey, the council acted improperly here. They didn't have a lawful vote to pay these expenditures, and therefore they misappropriated our money, our public dollars, to pay these things. And they would probably ask the Superior Court to render some decision. Now, when you say it's a city against the city, and essentially that, the damages would simply be, the judge deciding what's right to do and setting it straight. Either you're paying the money back, or who's paying the money back, who's responsible for it, something of that nature. But I mean, certainly, the council, by a valid vote, could legitimately prove to pay these expenses. Or you could legitimately say we're not paying any. But you have to have, by our charter, which is why I say it well may be fought, because it's not like we hadn't filed this ground before. The very reason we went to court last time was about 4 affirmative votes. And it takes 4 affirmative votes to carry a matter in this body, and those affirmative votes have to be lawful and valid. And the very reason for the last one was because of the council member that did not have the power to vote. And so, like I said, we've been to the Supreme Court on this issue. And I feel like if we went back to court, more than likely that very case law would be the case law that it would be decided under, because it's still I think the primary case in this field. So, and I don't say that to I just say that this is not there's different opinions from everybody as to what's a lot of money and what's not, and what's a big issue. This city certainly has large issues facing it, but the question is, if y'all feel like we need to move on from this, or we don't, and to move on would require 4 affirmative votes, 4 valid affirmative votes, one way or the other.
If I'm not mistaken, the last investigation we had, when they not recused me, but they said that I didn't have no personal interest to gain what they called through their investigation with the other attorney. They have changed their name, so.
It was from Denmark.
Yeah, Denmark, and they said the same thing.
Yeah, but you voted on that. You probably shouldn't have been able to.
Exactly.
Yeah, but still, the investigation still fine. I ain't got no personal.
Well, of course they would.
Interest gain.
If I was accused of a crime and I got to pick my own jury, I guarantee you I'd get off.
Okay, let's not get off focus. Let's get focused on this card issue. We can move forward.
So,
Yeah, again,
any decision what you all want to do.
to me, I would like to go. I would like to take a vote on it, and we can dismiss this whether it's approved. I don't know. It's probably assumed. I may be the only one approving for it because I said that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not going to have any assumptions here. I would say that that's Councilman Evans. He's going to commit himself to it. I don't know. I'm not taking that lead. I'm saying either whether he vote or not. I say let's have a vote to address this matter. If it passes, then let it go. If it fails, let's not deal with this anymore, and we can put this behind us. That's the issue I would like to do. If anything in the ramification come up in reference to the expenditures, know that that's still lingering. But all we can do is put it on record that the charges, each one of us was given the actual expense, and that it was up to each one of us to time to whether or not to consider whether those charges were legitimate or not. And then we need to take the vote on it today, and then we can be done. That's what I want to do. I don't even know if that's possible. We can bring that to a vote. We need 4 people to affirm that.
You made a valid motion. You would need somebody to second that, and then the mayor could have a call for discussion and go ahead. See if they want to vote. That's absolutely appropriate.
Yeah, I make a motion that we consider. I make a motion that we consider paying the credit card expenses in total today. Considering the fact that each one of us had time to review the charges and verify whether they was sufficient or not.
First, we have, Councilman Worthy had made did you make a motion?
Yeah.
So let's address his first, and then we'll move forward. Now you gotta restate it, because it's been too much.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Yeah,
He made a motion first.
yeah, I made a motion to table it until we get all of our questions answered. Until we hear back from them. And then we can make an honest decision on what's been done, what hasn't been done.
All the information back from GPI.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Did you have DA included in that first motion?
If I did not, I should have said
Okay.
that. Because they're working together on those issues.
I thought they were waiting to see what we were gonna do. We're not waiting to see what we're gonna do. That's what was.
No.
That was what was said.
No, I read it from right here, and I'll read it again. The investigator is out with his mother for having organ transplant.
Okay.
You hear me, Miss Barbara?
What'd you say?
I said the GBI investigator is out with his mother.
I heard you say that, but Attorney Green said before that we would vote on it and get the report after.
Yeah.
He said it like
Now, he's just saying that his motion is to table it because as I understand, the district attorney wants to meet with the council, and he is asking to table it until we can.
And they're not, and the DA told me himself, he's not wanting to meet with the whole city. They just want to meet with the council. Because they're not trying to, they want to do it almost like an executive session is the way I took it. They just want it to be council. So, I said, okay.
Well, the way I take it, with all the meetings we have had on this, and the workshop, and all of that, and we still haven't made a decision, and now we want to go and meet with the GBIs and people, that don't make no sense. This has gone on long enough. When is we going to get out here and do something? This is not doing something for the citizens. We are at a stopping place where we're not moving going at all. And we got a bad water condition going on in this city.
I don't think we're addressing
And we
that.
need to really go on and look to deal with the water issue here.
Yeah.
This, and just let this go or vote on it or whatever. Every time we have a meeting, we address the same thing over and over and over again, which don't make any sense at all. Either we gonna vote for it or we're not. But don't bring it up on every agenda every time we come down.
I don't think it has been.
Yes, it has.
I'd have to look through the minutes and the agendas to see.
DA want to have a meeting with you? Trust me, they'll be here having a meeting with you.
Yeah.
They don't put nothing to the side when they want to talk to you.
Well,
because I don't have my meeting.
I'm just telling you what the man told
I'm
me.
just
You can
saying,
call
if
him.
they want to have a meeting with me,
They'll come see you. Trust me.
yes. But to sit there and go over and over this, we stayed on this the other day 2 hours. I had an appointment, I had to leave. Now today we've been on it over an hour, and it's the same thing over and over again.
Understand?
Now it need to be something done. Either we gonna let it go, or we gonna vote on it to be paid. Whichever one, it don't matter with me because that's just the way it is. That's life. But my concern is the citizens in this water condition and going.
Yeah, that's right. So, Councilman Worthy has made a motion. So I guess it needs a second.
I'll second. Just have what?
Any discussion?
Is there any timeline when the investigator will be back to work?
He told me he felt like he would be back by the end of this month. And that's all he could give me. He said he is with his mother. I don't know if I don't remember him telling me where she was hospitalized. But when he first told me that the guy was out with his mother sick, I thought, good Lord, what kind of ailment she got? And then when he said organ transplant, then I felt bad. I was like, oh, okay, that's something big there.
Yeah,
So,
it can take a while too.
well, and he said that the guy had already been out sometime. He said, I'm actually looking for him to come back at the end of this month, and hopefully we can get the last of the details, and we can sit down with council. He said, we do not want to sit down with the whole city. We want to sit down with the council and let everybody know what it is we found. And I said, okay. But I mean, I called Mr. Barksdale, and I mean, his number is easy to get if any of you would like to call him other than me.
And I wonder why he went as in depth to you with that. And when I called him, it was nothing.
Well,
But something
Nothing.
I guess.
So he haven't even went in depth with Chief Hall to say, hey, let's get a meeting. Because I think you had been in contact with him. No, you was in with GBI, right?
GBI.
so I can't answer that question. All I can tell you is I called the man, and that's what he gave me.
Isn't it normal proceedings that it's in the hands of the GBI first, then it goes to
the DA.
the DA?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Usually GBI can take care of it if they got any other questions to go with it, or any kind of other criminal investigation, whatever, they'll run it by the DA.
Correct.
Because like if it's a clean cut murder case, we can take the warrant out, GBI can take the warrant out, any agents can take the warrant out if it's got a lot to it. If it's in for the DA, they look over, hey, is this something worth prosecutable? Worth be prosecutable or not? They go over and say either yes or no.
Right, but it gets to the hands of the GBI first, right?
Yes, and the GBI first.
All right, so have you heard anything from the GBI in reference to that you may not be at liberty to discuss? Not at all, right?
Not a while.
Not a while.
They had forwarded to the DA.
They have to report to the DA.
Yeah, they forwarded to the
They
DA.
forwarded it to the DA's office.
Forward it to the DA's office. Okay.
So it's now back in the hands of the GBI.
So it's back in the hands of the GBI.
Oh.
So that's why, I think Councilman Worthy has made a motion. And I guess John seconded, and
Can I,
unless
all in favor by saying aye? All not in favor by saying no?
no.
Okay.
Roll call.
I made a motion. She said.
This
To
was
table
to
it.
table. So
So
everybody's got to vote on that.
that.
Alright, so who all voted to table?
Just really quick, real quick.
And did everybody else vote not to
No.
table it?
Right.
Ronnie, are you
Correct.
voting or
Yes,
not?
ma'am.
Next we have the motion, and you're gonna have to say it again.
I make a motion, we consider paying the card expenditures, given the fact that it's one is in the budget. And that it would mitigate and set the expenses as it relates to council. Perhaps restore, if at all possible, the credit worthiness of the city. Given the fact that the expenditures that was presented before us have deemed appropriate. And so I'd like to bring this motion to the table that we vote upon this to actually satisfy the claim or actually let it go into account.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor by saying aye. All not in favor by saying no.
No.
It's 2 days before I
Can we get roll call?
Okay, roll call, please. Rodney, you want to start?
Yes.
McDonald?
No.
No.
The
I
town.
want to be here next 20 years.
What you got this town?
I voted no. I'm sorry. On Tony's, I voted yes.
Yes.
Okay. Next we have on new business. Signature, huh?
They carry.
Okay. The signature card for the Gordon Library Board of Trustees.
Oh, I don't think, Miss Brenda Brach gave me these 3 names, her name, my name, and Miss Jennifer Morris, only requiring 1 signature for the bank account for the Gordon Library Board of Trustees.
Okay, so we're gonna vote to add those.
And then we'll vote and have the resolution drawn up.
Okay. So she has, she's read out the names that the library board has appointed for the signature card. So we just need to get a vote.
What the name it was?
It was myself and Brenda Brach and Miss Jennifer Morris.
Make a motion that we add those 3 names
And require just 1 signature.
and that it requires 1 signature.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor by saying aye. All not in favor by saying no. And also we need to vote on the resolution for that. Or do we have,
No,
if we voted, it's fine?
the vote authorizes me to prepare.
Okay. All right. Next we have on the new business is our police department promotions.
Mayor and council, since, we lost 2 of our members of staff, we lost, our rank with the police department. So I've got recommendations of, the 3 that I have there.
Excuse me, if you all are talking, please be excused, ma'am. You in the middle, ma'am. You, yes.
I'm back up to 4 people, still down 1 person. My recommendations are making, Brian Stuckey up to captain. I'm moving, Joey up to the lieutenant. He's gonna be my new investigator, and I'm gonna have David Anderson gonna be moved up to sergeant.
So captain is gonna be who now, Stuckey?
Brian Stuckey.
And who, sergeant?
Joey Jones be a lieutenant,
Lieutenant? Mm-hmm.
and David Anderson would be sergeant. But I don't know if it'll get that far with him, because I think he got a job offer, doubling the salary.
So is he gonna stay? Or is he gonna go part-time?
From what I heard, he wasn't gonna be. I mean, he's leaving. From what I heard, David Anderson.
Okay.
It's not nothing final yet, but this is my recommendation. I can't blame him for double the salary.
Like I hear you stated, the
Yeah.
effective March 22nd, did you want to put that in the minutes or hold on?
It would have started not this payroll, the next payroll.
Effective next.
Mike, you ready to get me a sheet with that? With all
The ranks.
Yes.
But also at the same time, I'd like to ask the permission to put run an ad in Macon paper, military paper. Because we're still 1 behind, have not had anybody certified to apply. The only thing I can think of is the Macon paper. It's about $400 something 2 weeks through the Macon paper. Been running on Indeed.com, and we're not been getting any results off of it because it's a There's a free website we're doing, to bring in more attention. You have to pay, how much is that, Joey?
$40 a day.
Yeah, $40 a day to run it on Indeed.
That can come out you guys' budget all, but
That's a payroll. But it's, I mean, I don't know what to do. I mean, if I can find one more, if
I know Georgia Rural Water has a website that they put on, that you can advertise, but do the police department have that?
what website we have ours on the other one on? It was a pay, one other one was a pay site too. There was another one we looked in, I can't.
Or just police officers? The one just for police officers? Y'all have one, like with the police academy or something like that? Y'all don't have one?
None that I know of. I mean, I've been researching, trying to find, and Joe has been looking, because I mean, he wants, they all need help, and that's what he's trying to do, is trying to find help too at the same time. And the only other recommendation I got is, if we hold with 4 right now, I can put in for an opening that don't have to be certified, and we can choose from people, and we can send them the mandate, and it's going to be probably a 4 or 5 month process from the time we hire to get them on the road. And that's the only reason why I'm trying to find somebody that's already certified. And somebody's already certified, I mean, it's just nobody wants to work nowhere. I mean, you see it Public Works, you see it everywhere. Nobody wants to work.
It's all over. Especially your police department.
It's everybody. All law enforcement agencies are waiting on it. All of them.
So you need to put that in motion. Go ahead and run that in there. I'll make a motion there.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I like running the Milledgeville and the Macon paper.
So is there gonna be two different charges?
2 different bills, yeah.
Which one is, I know, we need to be both of them. How much is?
We can go with Macon first.
How much is Baldwin?
It's like $100 cheaper.
I mean, either way, you're gonna pay to run it, or you're gonna pay.
Or we can get some signs made up and just stick them out all over Macon and Milledgeville.
They don't read this.
No, they don't.
All right.
Well, I'll make a motion there. We'll allow Mike. Then short to do some all the time.
Never. No agency has, really.
It's just something that's yeah, all over.
Anytime we ever had an opening, I mean, we advertised for 2 weeks, and the week later we had a hire. And it took like 9 weeks to find one. To hire the last one, Tim Britton we just hired. It took like 9 weeks to find that one.
Is the other guy, he's on one, right?
Tim.
He started, not Tim. Jamal.
Yeah, we're part-time.
Yeah, he's.
I've got 3 part-time working right now. Jamal Hicks and Justin Meckler and David Whipple. And they kind of helping a little bit because, as it goes right now, when we're down to 3, I got one officer working 16-hour shifts 2 days straight. Then he'll be off 2 days. The other officer covers 16 hours straight. And the midnight man, he just covers from 12 o'clock that night. He just works 8 hours that night. And when part-time falls in, he'll work 5 days this week. And then part-time take 2 days, then he work 5 days. But like I say, with them, they work on 16 hours, be off, and they work 16 hours, and they work 12 hours with a part-time coming in. This may work 12 hours a day, and he's off tomorrow. The next one coming in, he may work 12 hours, and then back 16 hours.
So you're one short
Now
with David on staff.
Now.
And after David, if in fact David leaves,
There's not been nothing confirmed or nothing like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
but that will open up another position.
that would open up another position.
So you just want to get a kick on it if it does. I mean, even if he do stay, we still need to.
And we did make 2 arrests on the drive-by shootings at the basketball courts last week. One was juvenile, one was, I think 17. And that's the first ones that we got. And some people did talk. So let's get arrest both of them.
Good job.
I went to a meeting Thursday, and they was talking about those flock cameras. There may be some funding coming, and I'll talk to you later once I get more information about it. Because they are very expensive.
We know much in flock cameras, 3,000 a year just for one.
Mm-hmm. So, but there may be some funding. But when I get the information, I'll direct it to you.
We're also looking at some funding through Burma Insurance. Joey, he can discuss more about it because he's all on top of it right now. But we take some classes, getting them safety classes done, and we can get a grant every year for like it'd be X amount, whatever the premium is. We get a percentage of that premium, but they hadn't set a premium yet.
Yeah, it's like it's like two grants in one. The safety grant's like $3,000 a year. The workers' comp grant is like $3,500 a year. You have to put in a policy. I've already got it made up. I haven't brought it. I'm still trying to make sure everything's trying to get it into a bow and wrap it up and get it to y'all before I don't want to give something halfway. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean the policy. You got to do so many safety meetings a year, inspections, stuff like that. It's all in the policy. Once I get it both tied up, I'll get it.
It's like buying body cameras, whatever tool that we need. Oh, wow. So anything we can save the money with and get from the insurance company, because we're stepping up and staying on top of the game with the safety issues and everything. And we also be redoing the personnel manual with the police department through Burma.
Okay, so you're saying that if you get these in place, Gurma will give you this money?
Give us this money.
It's not actually making a claim or anything?
No, it's not making a claim. It's
okay. It's a grant.
Yes, Ivy's actually getting it too. That's where we got it from. I talked to Jamal, and Jamal said, "Hey man, y'all get the money too." So just get in touch with this person here at Gurma, and that's what they do with any law enforcement agency that has Gurma, any city police department's got through Gurma, they give that money.
Okay.
It's a more or less a reward saying, "Hey, y'all go by these guidelines. This is what y'all get. We help y'all out." And it's something we'll take care of ourselves. We don't have to dump it on nobody else to go through the paperwork and add paperwork like the one or anybody else up here.
Thank you.
You know something, is Mr. Anderson position one of these positions you advertise, but you don't know yet until you, okay, you don't know yet.
I just putting in for police officers. That's all I'm putting in for. I mean, I hope to get 5 or 6 applicants. I hope to get that many. That way we can interview and we can hire one. We can pick one out and we say, okay, if this one don't work out, we're gonna go ahead and you're number one man, you're number 2 man. If this man don't work out, we're gonna call you back. You can take his spot. Or if somebody else leaves within 3 months, you're gonna drop straight in. That's the easiest way to do it.
Well, we can go ahead with your motion.
Thank y'all.
You're gonna do both of them, right, Mike? Millersville and Macon?
We can try Macon first. What do you
want
think?
to do both of them?
I'm good with it. I'm good with both of them.
Make a motion that Mike do both of them.
Union Recorder and Macon Telegraph.
Okay. Union Recorder and Macon Telegraph.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor by saying aye? All not in favor by saying no. Okay. Moving on. Ms. Peggy?
I'm going to make this short and sweet. Mayor and council, we started off yesterday with our Easter egg hunt, one a day. There were folks out there in the rain yesterday hunting that egg, and they found it. But our Easter egg hunt is Saturday. We're going to be hiding over 1,300 eggs. We were gracious with businesses and some people that donated a lot of stuff to us, and we appreciate that. We will have special guests. The Easter Bunny is going to be there, and it will be from 11 to 1 at the city park. I need to see if they will cut the grass, or at least around the little kids. And then our next event will be a fundraiser in April to help us with our 4th of July Children's Parade. And we will be doing we're honoring the mothers and fathers with a brunch with more information. But we're trying to get as many things done it's possible to bring the citizens and the businesses and churches together.
Okay.
So,
Thank you so much, Ms. Peggy.
Ms. Peggy.
Next we move to committee reports. Main Street Gordon.
I give you the paper
Okay.
this time.
Okay.
We ain't got written that this time.
They do have they're taking over at Georgia City's week, and it's gonna be April the 21st, I think, through the 27th. So they're getting things together for that time. That Georgia City week is something that they do all over Georgia during that time. Just engaging the community and the children, just doing things. So Miss Lynn will have more information about that.
Okay.
And it's in April. Next we have public safety.
We just heard Mike.
Yeah, we just got that information. Sanitation.
Nothing to report.
That's good. Streets.
We still got water running down the streets, the signs on the poles are still falling down, nothing been done to them.
Okay. And another thing, I got a call about, I don't know if you've gotten any calls about the children that play signs. Because we have one right here on Main Street, right here. You know, they cut that speed bumper and cut it down, but people just go through real fast. We do have children there. Not only the big, they're going through on the four-wheelers and stuff, you know. So I had concerns about that street. I have a lot of other streets, additional to the streets we've already named.
And I have some paperwork coming about these kids on the four-wheelers. There is an ordinance that comes out of Atlanta about it, and I'll bring everybody a copy at the next meeting.
Actually, we'll be, we can implement that into our policy and ordinance training. Hawthorne Street. Hawthorne Street and Main Street has been added along with what's the street behind Texaco? Friendly Gulf. I think it may be Mint. Yeah, I got a lot of calls.
Mint goes down and then
Waverly. I think it's Waverly. I think it's on my book. I think I've given it to you. So the street, yeah, it was it is Waverly. It's Waverly. I think it was Main Street. I don't know all the rest of them off the top of my head, but we do have a list, and we really need to look into this. We did mention this previously to our public work department supervisor, but I don't know where they got, you know, the signs. From my understanding, the signs were supposed to be ordered or what have you, but we haven't seen them. So we can just move forward. What we need to do is just order. And also, we got today of some roads being closed due to Shockley doing their work. I've gotten calls from the school, preferably the school, about school buses, and I really do think they need to know when these roads are closed, so they can adhere to it. What we could do is just give them probably a copy of that to let them know, so that they're aware that it'll be closed. And
You find this right here? I'll get it to them tomorrow.
Okay.
I think Heather's may have already called the school, I'm not 100% sure.
Bus stop.
I'll get it to my wife.
Okay. Next we have finance.
Nothing to report on finance and on the leaving thing. Like, of course, you see where we are with the ARPA fund, and it's going to have a flip it down effect on that budget. So that's the only thing that.
Water and sewers.
I think we covered water and sewers, and we talked about the grants and stuff. So that's all about that.
Next we have capital projects.
I've got nothing to report on that.
We're gonna address this.
Oh, I'm sorry. So sorry. We have our code enforcement in here. And well, she's not going to elaborate on it. She just gave you all this information, and it's in reference to
A program.
a program
Or
that's,
code enforcement program.
yeah. So what you all, she's giving you to look over it. So probably next meeting, she can elaborate on it.
And they can get my phone number from Heather. So they have questions.
Okay. And also, I addressed everybody about the April 9th council retreat at Middle Georgia Regional. For some reason, and I went and checked, I haven't gotten a response from you guys. I checked the emails.
I haven't received it.
You haven't? You didn't? Yeah, you received it, but you didn't because yours is wrong because I used the one HARROLD and you don't use that one. Use the HAROLD.
Yeah.
Yeah, I resent it to you. But have you all received it?
Not that I recall.
I haven't got a reject back that. I got one back from you. That's how I know you did. Miss Barbara, you may need to check your spam or something. Because I haven't got anything and I double checked. You did receive it?
I did.
Okay. So so it's the right address. Okay.
Yes.
It's April the 9th. And we wanted to try to do it that morning, not all day, just the 12. Mr. Mork is going to get back with me on the time, and I pray it's 9 a.m. to 4. I mean 9 a.m. to 12.
You said April 9th?
April 9th.
Okay. That's on the Tuesday.
Because we do have a lot of ordinances, policies. And when Ms. Barbara was talking about the four-wheelers, all this stuff needs to be up to date. But next, we have our next council meeting, be April 1st, 2024. And next, we have to adjourn.
How long will it take those minutes to be ready? I need a copy. They just don't know me, do they?
All right. You see? Yeah, I think you need. I got it. No, I got it. You need. You need. No, you need. You need. You need.
We all need it.
Shout out everybody needs it. I love you, but you love me back. I got you, tomorrow. I love you. Leave it, honey. I do. Y'all just leave it. Come on down here. I got you, tomorrow.
Like the music playing shit on the mirror in the morning.
I
don't know who gave him that speech.
I know.
But I know next time I catch this thing up again, it's gonna be mine.
I'm the one.
He don't like me. When I went over there, he knew, oh, man, it's over.
I know.
I said, it's over. I think he turned it back on. I said, it's gonna be mine. He's gonna play it.
About right.
What was they saying? Stay there.
right here, but there's a shadow. I'm in my thoughts and flash.
Yeah.
Bill, what do you think about the issue? I think it was deliberately done, and because of it was concerned citizen, we will take it away.
What does that mean?
We will be going forward. We're filing suit against the city.
Why do you feel that?
Because that was an illegal vote by the city charter, by the state law, by the federal law.
What would you? I mean, if he had not voted, regardless,
It does not need to be paid. I'm sorry, it's still being investigated for criminal activity. And plus there's possible civil lawsuits that can be brought up. And we're thinking about that as well because we feel like someone needs to ask him how many times that card was swiped and then how many days it was swiped from the time the attorney requested that card. It was swiped every day, I think, 3 or 4 days. Every day for several months. If me and you had a personal credit card, we wouldn't have swiped it every day because we know those bills are going to come in. But I mean, there were waffles there. The LC first order that wasn't for the TV.
about Christmas decorations.
There was a person she was allowed for that. And she went out and usually the city has somebody put the lights up free. She went and got someone she knew to have the lights put up and paid for them. So that came out of that money.
What are you hoping to see?
I want to see action, legal action put against the mayor and I.
What were you feeling as in your mind as that motion was carried?
Because they're talking about going up on our water bill $30 a month, and people can't afford it. I mean, the jar minute is $7. I mean, people cannot afford it. So they're not looking after our benefits.
Thank you.
Just want to go. Okay. That rod needs my thing.
You ever seen it before?
I heard about it. God said, like, the people one day said, Jay, how are you?
Yeah. They got on with Toast Socrates on the.
Yeah. Earlier told me something about that. That is something anyway.
I told him, I said, you know what? I said, I appreciate you calling. He said, well, I appreciate you calling, letting me, about me. He said, I said, you need to stay where you at. He said, well, I really want to stay where I'm at because I just got started. I don't want to leave. I said, well, I'm telling you, the park ranger, I would stick with that.
Mike, y'all didn't anything else, but I swear, we're going to do something.
I was early.
We're going to get rid of this
We
thing.
can piss her off.
Why don't you make something down?
I made this. Find somebody to take out a seat.
Oh, that's me. We filed a, without going through all that. I'm told they come down with my
You tell them not to.
Mr. Billy, you was in my spot, but now you got kicked out.
Another woman got kicked out too. That was a boy, because that was her sister.
What?
Yeah, that was her sister. That was just a boy.